and turn it into chain lightning, or set it up so that when you kill guys with it, they explode in giant lightning, crazy light show. That's awesome. So if any of you played the demo, you've probably noticed there's no runes in it. So the question is, where are they? So what we wanted to say was, we wanted to talk about it a little bit and tell you, runes aren't going anywhere. They're a really important system to us. One of our main goals for Diablo 3 is an extremely high level of customization for your characters, and runes are one of our core systems that we decided to make because we really wanted to support that goal. So they aren't going anywhere, but I'm going to explain to you why they're not in our build. So this is our skill and rune creation process. I'm going to fly through it because it's boring production stuff. So we have a skill idea, could come from anywhere. We design the skill. Usually write some kind of, awesome design doc filled with crazy words. We storyboard it. We don't do this for every skill, but signature skills, we'll create some imagery that supports it. That says this is what the skill's supposed to look like. Then we program it. Then design tests the kind of early program version, which doesn't have final art, besides, is this cool? We do a lot of tuning and testing and changes and things like that. Then we add effects. Then we design runes, once we've actually gotten the skill through this whole process. After we design the runes, we program them, then we do the effects for them. If any of these kind of first 6 items on here change at all, and those of you who know Blizzard games know we like to change stuff all the time, then all of our rune work is gone. So when we're developing skills, what we try to do is save all the rune work for last. We've blocked off a ginormous amount of time for it, so we're definitely going to be doing them. And there's actually a lot of runes in the game right now, but they're so hit or miss within the characters, it's kind of disorienting. Why does this skill have a rune and this one doesn't? So we just decided to disable them as a whole until people can play the system in its entirety. So now we're going to talk a little bit about some of the monsters that we developed in the last year and for our Blizzcon demo. This is just kind of a nice, cool montage that shows off some of the different creatures that you'll encounter if you go and play what we're showing today. So I'm going to talk about our monster design philosophy and how we design monsters for Diablo. So the first thing that we kind of learned in the development of Diablo monsters is that they work best when they're simple. Most of our monsters live for 3, maybe 5 seconds. And when you put kind of crazy group behavior AI or squad level stuff or give a guy 5 skills, likely the player's only going to see a piece of that before the creature dies. And it actually just makes the creature look kind of confused and weird. It doesn't really work. So the monsters actually tend to work best when we make them kind of straightforward and simple, give them one job and have them do that job well. So the question is, how do we create combat that's got a lot of depth out of just these very simple monsters? And the answer is, complexity and depth comes from combining different monster types together. And this is really the philosophy that all the Diablo games have followed, and that we've just kind of taken up and inherited from our previous titles. So one of the key things here is this means we put a lot of different monsters on screen. We put 3, 4, 5 different monster types on screen at once. And sometimes knowing which monster is which and which one you want to kill first is really critical gameplay. We call it target identification. It's absolutely essential. So identifying monsters quickly is very important. And then we have this idea that you should always be introducing new monsters. Diablo monsters work best when they're simple. That means that if you fight the same monster over and over again for a couple hours, it can get a little dull. So always be introducing something new that is interesting for the player. So this is a good example of harking back to Diablo 2, how they use shape and color for target identification. Diablo 2 did, and the original Diablo did an amazing job of creating a lot of different profiles. In every area you go into, the monsters in those areas have different shapes and different colors that are very complementary to one another. And then here's some examples of some creatures from Diablo 3 that appear in the same area, and how we use the same ideas of shape, profile, and color so that you can easily identify them from one another.